here. And sign in the chat here. Me, so I can chat with y'all. Not for now. Just kind of sure this engine taken care of. Yes, it was me. Done. Let's go ahead and see what we can do here. So for those of you wondering, this is a more advanced build. Okay, that's not good. Let's see. Let's see if that's is better. That is what it looks like I'm seeing now. I'm actually seeing actual footage, which is important. See how this goes. But yeah, for those of you seeing this, this is not part of my fresh start going. This is me literally working on a much more advanced build that I wouldn't want to recommend anyone who's new to the game get too busy on, unless you've got use something like Satisfactory Calculator, or you're also utilizing a much how do I want to put this? A much more accurate, time ago. Because this is something that once you're building something like this, it is exceptionally more difficult to do. In part because you're dealing with something that is, again, we're talking, as the description says, you're talking 500 plus buildings, 500 plus machines, I should say, before you even get to the position of making probably this dedicated local factory. And that was literally just something for me to work on to get things going. So, first thing, I've got plastic here, which is able to be produced now, which is good. It's one Mark 4 belt, and I'm gonna just leave it like a Mark 4 belt, just in case. Totally Mark 3, but we're not gonna. I'm not gonna fight that one. Too heavy. And this belt here is in fact a Mark 4 belt. Okay. And let's see. First things first. So yeah, those of you who see the train, if you see the train station, it's literally just as, because this is going to be a dedicated everything. So I need to go ahead and change that just to now that I've actually got facility stuff in place here. I could have before, didn't really think it was necessary. I was streaming at the time. Didn't stream this build. Probably wasn't planning to really stream this build, but I'll do it for now. Just as for those that are conscientious of what they're consuming. tools or otherwise. So let me go with that really quick. And I'm going to throw in double wide foundation. Yeah, it's a big thing. It's a thing. So we can just come up here right now. Oh, and that's off by a tad. Just want to make sure we have a way to this train station. So, doing that, I'm going to change this train station from its current So this is going to be where rubber essentially comes out. I will have stuff that's going to be eventually planned to kind of be that. It's going to have a cool, there is that for to have cooling. This is a build, this is a save that I have had for a little while. The actual oldest save file on this goes all the way back to December 15th of 2023, and I wasn't playing for a while, playing on the save for a while. New saves, life, things like that, which is kind of why. So, this is, I've got over 6,000 hours in Satisfactory. That said, I have not gotten to the point of doing more builds, those things like so I'm gonna probably, okay, that's a little probably high, but we'll see how that goes. But yeah, so when it comes to this kind of build, these kinds of builds, you definitely want to come in with a plan, and you definitely want to have any materials you need for it going absolute great guns. A couple things you need with this is going to be lots of copper sheet for the pipe. You do need a stable supply of plastic, and you need encased industrial beams to not be 2 per minute. Same with motors. With that said, let's go ahead and I'm just going to give you a tour on basically what is all going on right now. So we have the train station coming in, which kind of comes right into the middle of the factory, so that's kind of a thing. But I don't mind that so much in the fact that it means that I'm going to now have to build the factory around the station, and that means I can kind of create this cool effect. Or at least that's the intended point here. But for those of you who are familiar with Satisfactory, you know that I could be bringing power in from the train station, but there's no power connections from the train station down to the factory. How does it have power? Well, as I've decided to do in this entire playthrough, I have got power towers coming to something like a junction box or maybe not a junction box per se, but a transformer type of deal, to where that power is now brought in. So, we've got the main power line coming in, so there's the main breaker, and that main breaker, I can shut that I can use that and cut power to the entire factory in one move, if I needed to for some reason. Say I knew it was a situation with power production, and I needed to get that out of the way. I'm going to cut that power as quickly as possible, so I would do that. Speaking of power, this particular world has got 75 gigawatts. Again, any electricians out there, please let me know if I'm wrong on the math on that. With 75,000 megawatts of capacity. So that's very much... Now, don't let the only 50 gigawatts or 50,000 megawatts fool you. There's a lot more power storage in place. That is simply the amount that I have chosen to have available. The power storage was upgraded from 30,000 or 30 gigawatt. I'm going to use that gigawatt for simplicity, just to keep it simple production. But it was cut into 6 5-gigawatt sections. I've expanded it to I now have 200 gigawatts cut into 5-gigawatt sections. So I can literally say I only want 35 gigawatts available at any given time. Or if I want to say full open, 200 gigawatts available, and I can still cut the entirety of power production away from the rest of the world with a world power grid switch. And the reason for that is twofold. And that's one thing that most Satisfactory players will probably come across at some point, and that is that you're running into a situation of you hear the dreaded sound of, oh no, power shutting down, and you lose your power plants in the process. Creators like Kibitz have run into that situation. He had a nuclear factory in one of his recent playthroughs that had constant issues, and his power storage kicked on. One of his most entertaining videos was where he pretty much had to go in panic mode to we have to get this going, we have to fix this like right now, get this everything started like right now because we're running on battery power, so you can run around the world without power and go get stuff going. That was funny. That said, he only had about an hour's worth of power at most, probably, based on consumption. But he probably had his power running through his train stations, which means he couldn't easily disconnect things, more than likely. Now, that's one way to do it. He could have run around and had switches everywhere to cut power from the train stations to whatever factories he did not specifically need. It wouldn't surprise me. He seems like the kind of guy that would do that. This, on the other hand, is the first iteration on a large build I'm doing of actually cutting the functions of the factory into multiple pieces. So we have our packagers, which are packaging water over here. We have canister production, which is over on this platform, or this section of platforms over here. And yes, there are floating platforms because I haven't gotten that far. We have the oil fields, which is the oil extractors and they're attached to pumps. And we have the water extractors and their attached pumps. We have heavy oil production, which is this floor right here. We have the basic initial plastic that it's going to be going on, and that's going on over there. The fuel production, which is going to be all the way up there, is the next thing. Is also the next thing that's online. So I'm going to be taking water, taking the package of water I am producing over here, and I'm going to run it up to here and start running heavy oil residue into these pipes to make diluted packaged fuel. One slight tricky problem with that, though, is I do have to run these in essentially a very careful arrangement. I don't exactly have a lot of room to run this, but I can run the pipe work, and I could also run the belt work as well if I wished underneath. And it's something I may do at some point. But for this purposes here, I'm going to run the belt work up top, at least for this first set, and then I'm going to go ahead and run the pipe work through this essentially intended floor here, which is going to be for logistics. And I'm going to have the diluted packaged fuel coming through underneath here to kind of limit some of the craziness with with belt traffic. So, what's the next thing I need to worry about? So, next thing I need to worry about is I need to start running this heavy oil. I am running the resin off of all these, plus a little bit of extra here, and running it directly. Okay, so we have 1 and 2 combined. We have 1, 2, and 3. This is exactly what you want. That said, that is utilizing some Mark II pipes, so we'll see how this goes. For those of you not familiar, there is what appears to be a Mark II pipe bug. It's this way things are designed. Apparently, it's the way things are designed. There's sloshing, water hammering type thing. I believe the devs have mentioned that in one of their, at least one or more of their streams. And the question there, I think they're asking themselves is, do we want this to be a thing, or do we want to remove this from the equation so that people can fully utilize the Mark II pipes? The other thing too is they are also changing how the calculations are done for these pipes and belts. So the way things work right now is this section of pipe here is one calculation. This one is its own separate calculation. This 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 is its own separate calculation, and then so on and so forth. All between every point there is pipe. So between pipe stands, which removing the pipeline supports or the belt supports doesn't change this. It's still separate sections. And then when you've got the section here where it breaks into even more sections based on between the conductor, the junctions across, this is also creating more calculations, consecutive calculations. And then the pipe here is a connection, is a calculation on this side of the, this is a connection, this is a calculation, and so there's a lot of sequential calculations, which unfortunately creates a precision issue that's apparently a known factor for the way they are doing the math in Satisfactory, which is through floating point. So, with that said, we'll see how well this holds up with the Mark II pipes. I may have to run a lot more Mark I pipes. If I do, that would be an interesting fight, but that will be something I can do. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe I only do certain parts. Oh, excuse me. Or it's something that I will have to hopefully wait until 1.0, where they're making a change that, at least as I understand it, this whole run from the run here, including all of this, is going to be this and where, it goes from, it's going to be from machine to machine calculation. So, basically, you've got the extractors over there, you've got a Mark II pipe. So now, the calculation is going until it reaches essentially each machine as a batch, as a single calculation. That whole thing is going to be one giant calculation all the way to the end. So these 20 refineries are going to get part of that calculation. The pipes connected to them are one giant calculation that are fed to a discrete graphics card, or a GPU. So that means it's something that can be processed quickly and then kicked out very quickly. And done, hopefully in a way that we will not run into those issues. It's one of the reasons that, well, at least one of my builds, I avoid doing the power plant for this world. I refrain as much as possible from using the Mark II pipes. Again, it's that issue of you've got precision. So if you, and what that means for the Mark II pipes is that you don't get the full 600 per minute that a Mark II pipe promises. So even if you do your math exactly right, and you use exactly 600 cubic meters of, say, fuel, you won't, and you've got only the exact number of fuel generators, which with early access, that's, and fuel gen, that's 12 cubic meters of fuel per minute. We'll see what those changes look like in 1.0, which, for those of you who aren't familiar with the game, that is being released in full in roughly 20 days, if my math is correct. It is going to be coming out on September 10th, 2024, barring something catastrophic. We'll see what happens. But this is a game that is designed specifically as a factory building game. So I'm going to shut up on some of the technical stuff that the devs have already gone over in their Twitch streams. I believe they even made at least one video about it for copies, so I would look them up. So, what do I need? I need... those guys right now. There's nothing I can do for them. And yeah, those interested, I am actually in conversation with someone who may be doing a multiplayer playthrough where I and a couple others, them, and maybe a couple others will be getting involved in doing a multiplayer playthrough, having fun, looking to just roast each other, have fun, and more importantly, just really looking to have some serious fun with this. So, volume a little bit on this. Hopefully it's not too loud. If it is, I do apologize. Let me know in the comments if that's an issue. But back to what Satisfactory is. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. Getting very squirrely off pretty far. This is a factory and automation game. You start out not having the option to have power, so you have to build it from little burners that you have to hand stuff every so often in the game. And 1.0, that looks like it'll be something that we will be able to belt, so that makes life a little bit easier. But then you move on to Ace power production that's a little more consistent. And now, to see if I can do this without losing my mind. But let's see. We're gonna go ahead and do that. Do this. And let's go ahead and see what we can do here. So there is going to be pipe, wall holes, there's going to be a lot of kind of craziness going on. Each one of these is producing 40 polymer, or 40 heavy oil residue per minute. That means with 20 of them, that's going to be doing 40, that's going to be 800, and I can only do 600, so I can only move about, if I math this right, only about 50, so that's not bad. That does make the math a little bit easier somewhat in some regards, because these are sections of 10, so we're going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead, I should say, and 5. Alright, so that means these are going to be part of the next set. Okay, not a problem. So, that out. We're gonna make that nice and red, so we know where the connection ends here. At least so I know where it is. In any case, so logistics. Stackable pipe. I'm going to do that from here. Uno, dos. And we are going to see how far we can take this without going too crazy. The objective in this case will be to try and kind of keep it where it's not directly on top of something. Now, each refinery will provide you with 10 meters of head lift. What that means is with the refinery being ground zero, I can go up 10 meters. This is kind of important to remember for fluids in general. And I believe, and for the most part, most buildings that you have access to that deal with fluids and are talking about producing fluids have a 10 meter head lift limit. So what that basically would look like, just to kind of give you an idea, is from here, from the base here, I can go up literally that high before I would need any pumps. I am not going to go that high with it in the production floor, simply because that means that I'm at the limit, the head lift limit. I want to make sure I have, when I do start pumping something up, it is going to be going all of the way up. It's going to be going all that way up to the intended level of, okay, let's go, logistics, and wall hole, yep, and again, this is me, taking a very risky case. We'll see how this works out. I'm not convinced this is going to work out too well. Again, this is a Mark II pipe issue. That's because there are issues with the Mark II pipes that are designed in. Whether they were intended to be designed in is unknown. So we will have to see how the devs address that, in particular in the 1.0. In 1.0 here. Okay, so there we go. Alright, we're going to, this is where it gets a little interesting, because this is where I want to start being mindful of my spacing. I'm not a big fan of clipping. Does it happen? Yes. Are there points where I might say yes? It actually is it's okay. One of those would be in the case of power, or more accurately, power connections. I can see that the cable goes in, and then it could be argued that, hey, it goes in at this point, and then its actual connection is further inside or something like that effect. So alright. We're going to go ahead and start feeding this stuff. So one of the things that you want to do usually with pipe is you want to usually not have stuff getting split off. it's been a no issue as well. We'll see if how the devs have addressed that in 1.0. So again, it should be a matter of the calculation from input to output, pipe run from the inputs all the way to the outputs is essentially going to be one giant calculation. Yes, one giant calculation, but it's not like the devs are doing anything super silly, at least not intentionally anyway. It's not like it comes any brand new. And that's why this stream is definitely not something I've marked as not for kids. Just because I do have a dirty mind, I have a dirty mouth at times. So we're gonna go ahead and reduce that section count. And we're gonna make this a nice, simple thing. Because that's the idea in this. So what I'm doing here is I'm going back through a lot of these connections and I'm just making it a single piece of pipe, a single connection pipe between those points of connection, between the junction points. And that is agreeable, but part of it until they until they get Mark II pipes figured out and solve for a better solution so we can reliably get the full 600 out of the Mark II pipes. We'll have to see how this goes. So we'll go ahead and just keep moving those sections. And go ahead and do that. We'll go ahead and run this all the way out here. So the next thing I need to do is I'm going to need to go ahead and put a pump on this. I'm going to put a pump as close to this as possible. That, or I may even just go ahead and do this. You do not need pumps for horizontal delivery, but you do need them for vertical. And Mark II pumps will give you up to 50 meters upwards. Now, and it does not stack, so when you do put in more pumps, you are going to make sure that you have your full math figured out. This is a very interesting part of the game where you are going to, like I said, you are going to have to solve math for it. So we are going to bring in our first contestant for the day, which is, let's see, ding ding ding, ding ding ding. Okay. Mark II. I like the straight left that gives, so it's going to go up. And 600 over each of these. It should be about 20, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so it is actually 60, so here it's actually going to only be 10. So I'm going to go ahead, and this first one I'm going to go ahead and probably just accept that I'm not going to have as much out as I would like. Because you're talking 60. So this is only going to be 8, 7 here, and then 3 more on the other side. So we're going to go ahead and put those in now. Go ahead and put that stuff in now, as far as... Now I have everything running. As far as these are concerned. Now, the tricky part here comes down to kinds of things. And yeah, it's definitely not an easy thing to do all of these builds like this, but we are going to go ahead and see what we can do. I want to get this belt work in as much as possible just because I don't care to try and resolve old problems. There's a lot of space here. There's not a lot of space right now. I will have to try and see if I can figure that out. So I'm gonna go with monochrome pipes. We're gonna go there, and then from the new. So it has to be a build mode for this very tight connection. And I'm starting with the very first bits of heavy oil residue. And with any luck, this will mean that I will start getting packaged fuel. That means I can stop running elsewhere. When I run out of packaged fuel, I can just grab from the provided location on site. So that's basically what I'm at now, is building this rubber factory all the way up to producing a significant amount of rubber. It's going to be definitely 4 digits. I haven't quite worked out the full math on that. I'm going to see where I am sitting on the math. Okay. So, there we go. Let's see what we got. And so now, this is where again it's gonna get interesting. I'm going to go ahead and run Mark II pipe. I'm gonna run it directly underneath . There. We're gonna go okay. So then we're gonna go all the way back. And we're gonna go ahead and run . I like alright. I'm gonna throw in the remaining start throwing in the main thing I don't know is how much that's going to affect things. So let's actually do a quick little measurement. So from here, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna run this. So there's 10 meters coming from there. Okay. that tells me is so I got 32 plus another 10. You're talking 42 meters in height, and the pumps in a single Mark II pump will suffice in getting the thing out all the way up with some rain. Now, that does mean these pumps do have a 5 meter or 10%. Actually, yeah, 10% overload, essentially, that it can go into. So, Mark II Plus can go all the way up to 55 meters, and Mark I can go all to about 22. So, it is a thing to consider. I do not personally recommend pushing those limits, so again, do your math. Yeah. Alright, let's go ahead and see where this craziness begins. Oop. Whoops. Alright, let's go ahead. Bring that in. Nope. Not sticking one there. Nope, not doing that. And so I'm gonna go ahead and start putting this stuff in. Get these all in. Okay, so now that that's all in, I'm gonna go ahead and run Mark one pipe off of this, because that's what's really needed. Let's see if I can make that a little cleaner. Yep. So that's a pretty decent lineup for not having everything exactly where I want it. That's pretty cool. That's pretty close for eyeballing it. I'm going to run that out and run this out. At least in this case, we're going to run all the way out here. Run that all the way out to there, and with the heavy oil residue in place, I am also going to tie back into the production here.